Hello there, my dear loving souls. Welcome back to this channel and welcome to this office. The video series that I'm making today is going to be on a spirit-led topic. So I've got some pre-shuffled cards here in front of me, whereby I effectively allow for the cards to reveal what the topic should be, i.e. what the spirit world wants me to talk about today. And what we've got is the number 2 card, attachment. And it's all about longing and desperation. And so after having picked out a few more tarot cards as clarifiers for the purposes of finding out what universal laws are at play here, I can instantly see that this is going to be a very deep subject, a very sensitive subject, but a very necessary subject that I obviously am led to be speaking today by the Spirit. So if you haven't already, make sure you get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, or any beverage of your choice. I've got a glass of water here with me. And part 1 will be all about the facts and the universal laws on the spirit-led topic of longing, desperation, and attachment. And then part 2 will be us talking a bit more about application of these laws, as well as practicing love, perhaps using the Holy Trinity of Love. And then part 3 will be getting a few more messages from the Spirit, from the other oracles here, or other cards I have here on the table. And if we kick off with the number 2 attachment, the guidebook is all about this. The woman on this card is caught in a web of longing and need. The threads that bind her and her desperate needs for love, money, or success. Her obsessive longing is keeping her stuck, unable to move in any desired direction. In fact, as she reaches up to grab the diamond in the web, she gets even more caught up. This card brings a warning. Don't poison your present joy with the misery of desperation. There's not just one thing that can make you happy. Surrender your chronic longing and choose to create feelings of happiness and self-acceptance now. This release of attachment allows you to calmly work on your intentions while living in appreciation of the present. Perceive the value already in your life, and you'll attract increasingly happy experiences, including the ones you long for now. Affirmation is, I let go of desperation. I take action toward my goals while focusing on my present joy and blessings. And that's it, my dear loving soul. So the spirit-led topic, I'm going all off script when I do these particular videos that are purely spirit-led. This is going to be a heavy topic. It's about longing. It's about needing something in your life, searching for something, obviously having a desperate need for whatever it is that you're aspiring to, whatever the diamond is in your life, be that love, wealth, family, or success, achievement, particular career growth that you're after. If you're a sports person, it might be winning a particular competition, right? Getting that number 1 medal or that trophy. So whatever it is in your life, that's what the subject is about. It's the attachment to that ultimate diamond or representation of diamond. Now the 3 cards that I have been pre-shuffled, and for the purposes of the universal laws, we've got the Knight of Swords, 3 of Swords, and the Page of Cups. As I mentioned, yes, this is already going to be quite a heavy and deep kind of topic. I can sort of feel it. I can feel the energy. So we start about the first one, Knight of Swords. We've got a man, a knight, obviously, charging on top of a horse. He's sitting on top of a white horse with a sword ahead in front of him, and he's charging, full speed ahead. And the instant thing that I'm thinking about, there's a variety of interpretations of every card, quite frankly, but I'm most drawn to talk about time and the speediness of things, so being speedy, being fast to reach certain goals, being fast to reach certain conclusions, being fast to reach certain deductions, so being fast at something. And if we're talking about this lady in the attachment card, it's as if she's trying to reach for the diamond and she's trying to get it as soon as possible, so like the time factor of it is a big of concern. And perhaps this might resonate with you if you're trying to control something, you want to reach a particular goal in a swift manner. And what I'm led to say in terms of universal law, it's that time is a human construct. doesn't actually exist. Everything happens in the now. You may have memories of things happening in the past, or you might have some predictions or forecasts about the future, but you're actually always living in the now, always in the present. And so time doesn't actually truly exist. It's a way for us as a society to be able to organize bits and bobs, and it's good for our mind to be able to categorize things, have like a milestone or an attribute that you can kind of attach to or understand, so that the society functions. Time doesn't actually exist, and certainly doesn't exist in the universe, certainly not over across the veil. So what I mean by that is divine timing is everything, so just maybe that's something to bear in mind when thinking about reaching out for whatever the diamond is in your life, that everything happens in divine timing. The second card that popped through is the Three of Swords, which is a card, the representation usually of, broken heart, like literally those swords are going right through the heart, deception, frustration, mental stress, mental anxiety, mental frustration, just feeling defeated, sometimes being defeated both in your heart, an emotional level, as well as mental. Sometimes it could represent that as a result of a mental overstimulation or engagement, you might be finding yourself emotionally feeling less resilient and more frustrated as a result of it, so that your thoughts or your mental state actually causes your emotions to drop a few frequencies. And I think that definitely aligns quite well with this attachment and longing desperation card, because Three of Swords is very much a desperation card as well. I think whenever you get into that situation of a feeling of a broken heart, you might be desperate for love as a result of that. That's just one example. And the Page of Cups is the third card that came through. And the more I think about it, the more I think it feels a little bit more like an advice from the spirit. The reason for that is because the Page of Cups is wearing a red and blue outfit. Blue can signify water or emotions. Red can be more like passion and fire. So there's a little bit of water, a little bit of fire. The other thing is there's water in the background, yet the page is standing on earth. So another duality, right, of two different elements. Likewise, the page has a cup in his or her hand, and there is actually a fish in that cup, and it feels like the page is happy and cheerful and is actually talking to the fish or smiling at the fish, which sort of doesn't really happen, right? It's very rare for somebody to find fish in their cups, let's be honest. But it kind of shows you the imaginative or the playful or the cheerful side of this particular page. And so a lot of playfulness and a child kind of energies popping through, because of the fact that this person can talk a fish into being in his cup or her cup. But what I'm really getting at in terms of universal laws, what I'm feeling is this duality of things, and the particular, so duality, okay, that's one universal law, but the freedom of choice to choose one path or the other. You can choose either to stand on the ground, or you can choose to go swim in the water. You can choose to just have that cup as half full, or that cup can be half empty. You may even imagine a fish in your cup if you want to. You can wear red or you can wear blue. You can be passionate and fiery, or you can be cold and cool. So there's duality, and you can choose whichever path. I think that's the universal law, that freedom of choice. And that the way it relates is that you can choose whatever you do with this attachment, with your longing inspiration. And let's just jump into part 2 actually. So I'm talking about some practical tips using these cards, and to see if we can use our Holy Trinity of Love to our advantage to actually decipher some practical tips as to what to do with attachment, longing and desperation. So click on the link down below for part 2, my dear loving souls, and I will see you shortly in part 2.